Hi friends, I have another craft for you today. Today we are going to make flowers out of scrap denim. Denim flowers, aren't these so cute? They're pretty simple and adorable. This size you could put a pin on the back and wear them on your jacket or something, but you can decorate with them. They're just fun. So let's start. First you need some scrap denim. So I had some old blue jeans and I cut circles out. So I want to show you these two different styles of flowers. So I cut 6 and this is just like the top of a cup. And these are a little smaller than the circles that I used for this, so we'll see what happens. And then you need a needle and a thread. So these I did with a regular sewing needle, but this fabric is thicker than this fabric, I think, or vice versa. One of them was thicker than the other, and it was a little harder to do. I think it was this one. But a friend of mine gave me longer needles, and I already threaded it off camera, but I could actually see that doing my other one was a challenge. But let's get started. So I'm going to get my 6 circles, and you fold and then just do a little whip stitch. So look at the color that you want to see, and you're folding the color you don't want to see inside. So I'm folding it in half and in half to make a triangle. That's it. You're folding your circle in half and in half, and the side you see is the side you want your petal to see. So I have a dark side and a light side. I'm going to do the dark side on the outside. So then you just get your needle. I've already got it threaded, so this is just plain thread, and I put it in and made it double strength and put a knot at the end. And then with your V up like this, you're going out, in, up at the top. So I am just going to go from the bottom, and I'm going to come through and back in, and however many times. This is enough that maybe I can do 6 times, up, down, up, down, up, down, but we'll see. All we're gonna do is up, down, up, down, up, down. So this time I did it 3 complete times, and then you're just pulling it through. And when you pull it through, you will smish it to make it look like the petal. So I'm gonna get them all on there and do that, but you just push them, let them gather together. Just like this. See, they'll gather like a petal, but it's easier once you get them all on your string. So you're not doing them individually, you're gonna do a whole loop of them. So I'm folding in half and in half, and up, down, up, down. So that's 1. Here is 2. This larger needle is working better for me. It's going through this thicker fabric. And I could have just switched over to this lighter fabric, but this is so cute. And I want to see the difference between the 2 flowers. So up, down, up, down, up, down, and scooch it down my thread. That's 2. Fold it in half, fold it in half. So if you happen to have thicker thread, it's not a bad idea. This is doable, like I said, with a regular needle that you would do an everyday needle, but my friend had larger needles, and it's working great. So either way, it'll work. So you just put it on there and scooch it down. And you're gonna do all 6. 3, halfway there, fold it in half, fold it in half. So when you fold it in your second half, you got an open space and a closed space. I don't think it matters which direction you start with. It should look the same. But I'm being consistent. So if I have the open section to my right, I'm keeping it to the right. Just in case there's a little difference. I guess you can see the fold in the original one that I've done. It's all gathered together, so it's not noticeable. But I can see on this side where my fabric is folded, and this side it's just consistent, you know, no fold. So whatever works for you, you could alternate, or most people probably don't even notice that. But we might as well be consistent. All right, up, down, up, down. This other one I made too shallow. I want to start at one end and end at the other end. Like I want to be close to the ends. This stuff's gonna hide, this end is gonna hide under the center of our petal anyway. So you're not gonna see it. So, you know us, if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. It's the idea of creating, using your brain, using your hands. All right, I'm on my last one, guys. Okay. Now we're finished with that. I am going to scoop them together and make them pucker. So I'm just squishing my petals together. So they're side by side, facing the same way, and puckered together. So one, gotta all face the same way. And they all pucker together. Now they're not gonna stay puckered because what? Nothing's holding them together at the moment, right? Yeah. But I'm going to get them close together. See? We're getting there. It's looking like a flower. Okay, now I gotta get my needle off of here. Don't want to lose it, so I'm gonna put it in a little case. So now I have a string of petals, and we're gonna tie these two ends together. So we're just gonna bring it together and tie it really tight. And that helps our flowers stay together and helps our petals stay puckered. So you kind of move them together, pull it tight. Don't leave this end long, so I'm gonna go this way. Pull them up so they're all bunched together and as tight as you can get them before you tie your strings together. So, push and pucker. Push and pucker. Cute. I'm just pulling them together and trying to hold them with my left hand so I get them tight before I pull my strings together. You know what? They make waxed string. I bet that would really slide and make this part easier. I want to see how tight I can get this one. That one is a little loose. I love it, but let's see if I can get this one tighter and see what my difference is. All right, do I like the way these petals look? I do. I want this one a little tighter. Got one in the middle that's not quite as tight as the others. And we're going to use hot glue to put our center in. So that also helps us if there's something we want a little looser or tighter, more so tight, I guess. I got this one in the middle that doesn't want to be as tight as I want it to be. Of course, it's the one in the middle, not one on the outside that I can reach better. But that's okay, it's just a process. Now, I love it, love it, love it. A little loose, love it, love it. Let's see if I can get this one in the middle. A little tighter. Okay, now I think we're cooking. Now I'm gonna tie this tight with the strings on the ends. And that will help our petals on the outside tighten up as well. So I'm gonna just loop it through and pull. There we go. Was worth the wait, wasn't it? It was worth the wait. All right. Now, tie it tight and make a knot. Make a knot, make a knot. Alright, I'm gonna double knot this thing. Do not want it coming apart on me. Over, under, pull this through. Nice, tight. I'm gonna do another one just in case. Oops, around my petal, don't go around my petal. Nice. All right, so there is my flower. Oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna cut off my ends. I did it in white so you can see, but you're not gonna see the thread anyway. Pull that off. And here is the base of my flower. And then I am puckering my petals out. I want them to face out like this one. So there we go. So cute. Aren't we looking cute? Then I have some scrap fabric. Checked. It's adorable. And buttons. So I'm gonna reach over here and get my buttons, get my scrap fabric, and I'm gonna cover the button with the fabric. We'll see which button. So I'm using large buttons, but depending on how big your circle is, depending on how big your circle is, depends on how big your flower is, and how big of a center button you need. I like a great big button. I have a great big one. That's what I want in the center of mine. So I'm gonna cut a square out of this fabric. And you can just use this regular thread that we were already using. And wrap around, so you put the button in facing whichever way you want it to go, and wrap your fabric around, just like that. I want my smooth in on the outside, and I have a little pattern, so I want it to be somewhat straight instead of ziggy-zaggy when I pull it tight. So I have these little elastics that some people use to put their hair up. And so that's what I'm going to use to wrap around. But you can do it with a rubber band. You can do it with a tie, a braid tie. You can do it with string that you just used, thread that you just used to sew your petals together, whatever. I'm going to use these little elastics because I got them. They work great. And so I'm going to wrap the fabric around, and then I'm going to situate it on my button to how I want it to look. It looks great. And then you just glue it on there. And if there are any spaces of your petals not exactly going where you want it, just glue it. Just glue it. All right, I want this tight, but I don't want my stripes to be wickety-whack. So I'm just gonna glue it on here. I'm gonna put a bead of glue all the way around. And I already measured so it fits. So I'm putting glue around my edges. Or you could put it on your button. Either way, that might have been a good idea. I stick my button in there. And hold it down so it'll glue. It looks really good. See? It looks awesome. I love it. It came out really well. Then I just snip off the edge of my back. So if I am going to make this into anything, I might want to finish the back. So if you have more scrap fabric, you just cut out a little circle and cover the back so the back looks as pretty as the front. See if that is a good size to cover up the back of my flower. Yep, that fits well. So I'm using the same fabric so it'll kind of conceal. Does my front look good and ready to go? Yes. So I am just going to actually put it on my fabric so I don't over spew. I spewed just a little bit in the front. I'll have to scratch that off with my glue. And place it on the back. That's it. And that's what the back looks like, and that's what the front looks like. And that needs to cool off. But isn't that adorable? So let's see. It's just a little smaller than my first one. And I did not cover the back of the first one, so I will do that later. But next is this style. So we'll grab some more circles, and we're folding it a little different to get this style. So you fold it up like a taco. So you want the side that you want to show on the outside. So you fold it up like a taco, and then you crisscross, overlap them. And then you bring it up in the middle, and we've kind of got a little square with just a little bit of a rounded edge, but that rounded edge is underneath the center, so you're not gonna see that. So I have another needle and another thread, and I'm gonna do the same thing, up, down, up, down. But this one is a little less area, so I'm thinking that we might not need to do it as far. So let's see. Like the last time I went up, down, up, down. We'll see how many up, downs I have on this one. I think I just have 2. Up and down and up and down. Because this little square is less than space as our triangle. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 1 there we go. Up, down, up, down. There's 1 out of 6. So I'm gonna flip it over so I don't mess up. Fold it like a taco and crisscross. And then fold it in half. I start from the bottom. It's whatever you want to do. I can get that through. I'm in a thick spot, I guess. Up, down, up, and down. All right, that is 2. Fold it like a taco, crisscross, fold in half. Up, down, up, down. Up, down, up. So we're doing the center of this one a little different, just for variety. You pick which you like the best. On that first one, we used a button, taco, crisscross, fold in half. This one, I'm gonna use scrap fabric again, but I'm gonna use a little pom-pom to go inside. You could use a cotton ball, if you have cotton at home, or just a little stuffing. You could use stuffing like that polyfill that you may have in your craft stash, or an old pillow or something. Did I do that right? This one's not wanting to slide. Got a kink in my, there we go, in my string. Okay, am I missing one of these circles? I might be missing a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5. Good thing I brought my fabric over here, huh? I mean, I need 6. So let me just cut another one real quick. Oh, here it is. I forgot to cut it out. Is that right? Is that the same size? It is. I forgot to cut one out. Let me cut one out real quick. All right, we need 6. We can't just go with 5. All right. All right, there we go. Now then, fold it in a taco. Oops, almost did it backwards. Fold it in half. All right, now what were we talking about? Centers. Yeah, so you could do the button thing again. You don't even have to cover up the button. If it's a cool color, you like what it looks like, just glue the button on. You don't have to cover it up in fabric. This is your flower. You do it the way you want to do it. All right, get through there. And here's a 6th one. You know what would have been cool? Now that I'm already doing this, alternating dark light, dark light, dark light. That would have been fun. Oh well, might have to make another one. All right. Now we've got them all on our string, and we do the same concept. We're pushing them together. Yes, this denim is a lot more easy to work with. So you might want to think about that when you're making this at home. Thinner denim is a little easier to work with. Okay, so we are just scrunching them together just like that last one. And we're going to tie a knot. So I'm scrunching this one, I'm scrunching this one. Scrunching this one. So as you're scrunching, your string needs to be pulled tight because it's not gonna stay. Two more little petals. Scooch over here for me. All right, I forgot to get my needle off of this. I got a lot of string on this one, don't I? All right. Pull close for me. I'll cut my needle off and tie these guys together. So they're all scrunched. Let's tie them tight and see what we get. And because of the way we scrunch these into squares, the center is actually smaller. You know how big the center was? Oh dear. My needle broke, my thread broke. Let's see if I got enough on there. Nope, got to do it again. Pulled that too tight. Let's do it again. Sorry guys, you can fast forward through this part if you want. Maybe I will fast forward through this part. Look at me thread a needle on live video. All right, let's try this again. One. Two. Three. Four. You know, this happens sometimes when you're crafting. I didn't have this issue with my first set, but happening with my second. It just happens. Lord teaches us patience. Okay. 5. One more. This dude came unfolded. All right, 6. All right, I don't have a lot of extra thread. That could be problematic, but we shall see. Pull them together. Cut this one off. Got my workspace a little messy. Okay, let's pull them together. Cute. It's coming together, friends. It's coming together. That middle one's the tricky one to get. Make sure that it gets nice and puckered for your flower. Of course, with 6 we should have 2 middle ones, but so far I'm having trouble with just a specific one. Awesome. Okay, let's tie this bad boy. Cross it over. Pull it through. Nice. We're getting there. Double knot this thing. You go through that hole. Wait a minute. I better start that over. I got myself mixed up. All right, it's tight. Put a little finger there so I don't get myself mixed up. And go around through the hole. Pull it tight. Now we got it. I'm gonna double knot or triple knot this thing so it doesn't come undone. Ta-da! Snip off my edges. And here's my cute little flower. So you pucker your petals back up front just like we did with this first darker blue. Adorable. Adorable. And now we have a cute little flower. It doesn't hold itself until we put a center in. So I'm gonna get a pom-pom. And or two. Ooh, I like this one. This is a good fluffy one. We'll use this one. I'm gonna get a scrap of fabric. This is a, let's see, how big do I need? Nice. I'm just gonna cut this off so I even up. Nice. Don't need that anymore. So I am gonna do the same thing I did last time and use a little elastic. But again, rubber band. Is that the size I want? Yes, I like it. I like it. Cute. I think I'm gonna make it puffier. I'm gonna use 2 palms in there. I want a wider center. Because once I put around the elastic and stuff, it smishes it a little bit. Oh yeah, I like that. So then I'm just getting a little elastic and putting it around. Like a ponytail holder. This one's a little bigger, so I better go around 3 times. Nice. And then I'm gonna stick it through the hole. Make sure I like the size before I glue it on there. I love the size. How about you? That's awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna lift it up a little bit and glue around the center and then pull it through. I think that'll work. It's not how I did the first one, but I'm gonna give her a go. Nice. Pull my center through and hold it a second. We did it. We had a little bump in the road, but we made it work, didn't we? It's still a little hot. Oh my gosh. It's adorable. It's a little smaller than this one. Snip off the bottom, off the back. And again, you can cover it up. You can use it as decoration. Got a lot of extra fabric here. Make it a pin, wear it on your coat. I love them. So here are the ones we made. Is that right? These are the ones we made today. These are the ones I made earlier. They're adorable. See the different size? 1 palm, 2 palms. You pick which one you like. Ooh, I like the one with the 2. It's cute. I think these are the same center sizes, but smaller petals. Adorable. That was fun. A little challenging there for a second, but it was fun. So I hope you try it at home. Give her a go. See what you come up with. And we'll see you next time. Bye.